I like Bryce as an FMC way more than Feyre. I finished The House of Earth and Blood a couple nights ago, and I have a message for anyone who, like me, was putting off Crescent City. First of all, I loved Throne of Glass, and I started reading it in about February of 2024, and it was the first SJM series that I read. It was amazing, and it wasn't what got me back into reading per se. I did actually start getting back into reading with Hank Green's sci-fi books, but it is the series that got me back into fantasy and into romantasy, and I just loved it so much. I always tell people when I'm trying to coerce them to read Throne of Glass that it's like Lord of the Rings for women or Lord of the Rings with a female protagonist. So starting with Throne of Glass, I had a very high opinion of Sarah J. Maas, and then I went on to read ACOTAR. Not gonna lie, that first book, I was like, this is the same person who wrote the masterpiece that is Throne of Glass. This is not good, but I did continue the series and I did enjoy it more as the books went on. Throne of Glass was still like up here in ACOTAR, you know, it's about here for me. So when it comes to SJM's universes, that left Crescent City, and I put this series off for a very long time. But with the next ACOTAR book on the horizon, and yes, I know that there is crossover, I was like, I finally need to get into Crescent City. So about 6 weeks ago, I started House of Earth and Blood, and I have been in a book slump, for about 2 months, and I just could not get into it. I got to about chapter 4, and I put it down, and I put it down for 6 weeks. I am telling you, it hurt me when I picked it back up again, and past chapter 5, things really pick up. And then I finished the book. This book is like 800 pages. Also, a reason why I put it off, it was just intimidating how big the books in Crescent City are for how long they could potentially take. But I crushed through it in about 4 to 5 days. So I'm just going to tell you, if you're like me and you have been putting off this series, but you've already read Throne of Glass, you've already read ACOTAR, give House of Earth and Blood like 5 to 6 chapters, because it starts slow. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of world building going on, but it's worth it. And after chapters 5 or 6, it really gets going and it becomes unputdownable. I gave this book a 4.75 on Fable, but if I could give very precise ratings, I would give it a 4.9, like just under a 5-star. And I don't give 5 stars out very often at all. The FMC is relatable, so funny, and honestly, a badass bitch. Like, she and Aelin would be friends. I cried real legit tears twice in this book, and both of the times had to do with friendship, and I love that. So be prepared for some emotional damage, because this is book 1. I haven't even read the rest of the series yet. But if you're like me and you've been putting off this series for a long time because it's been intimidating for whatever reason, just start reading it and get past chapters 5 and 6, and it's so good.